Bam ba bam 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 ba bam 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 ba 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 bam bam ba bam bam. Everybody is saying that Alter is currently breaking Apex Legends. All the Johns and little Timmys are screaming, "She's overpowered, nerf her." That's my little John voice. I'm here to put those claims to rest. This is the truth about Alter in Season 21 of Apex Legends. Alter's origins are unknown, but the one thing that is known about Alter is she looks like a fucking freak. Although her tail's kind of doing something to me right now. Pause. Anywho, she is a multi-dimensional legend whose abilities share a resemblance to other legend abilities such as the old Revenant ultimate, Loba's passive, Wraith's portal, and something like a reverse horizon tactical. I'll explain that later. One thing's for certain, she is insanely fun. I've been playing her this entire season, duo queuing the Apex Predator with my friend Decoy, and I've been enjoying every minute of it. But when I hear people talk about how overpowered she is, I'm quite confused on that. So let's break down those claims to show you guys why I think Alter is an extremely balanced legend and is nowhere near overpowered. Please, let's take it from somebody that's been playing her for a week and didn't rush this video just to get some views and clicks. Start off with her passive. Her passive, Gift from the Rift. This allows you to remotely access any death box within a certain range, but you're only able to loot one item out of it, and this item cannot be an armor shield. This passive is easily the most convenient passive in the entire game, and it's her passive that actually resembles Loba's ultimate. Just like Loba's ultimate, I could loot items from afar, but as Alter, I could do so within a fraction of a second. All I have to do is look at the death box 50 meters away from it and loot any item that I need. It's very quick, and it also doesn't notify the enemy team that I'm nearby like Loba's ultimate does. So she's very stealth-like in that manner, and I can't tell you how many times it's saved my butt if I'm deep in zone and I need to loot and there's a box right there, I just loot some heals. If I'm in a fight and I need more heals, I could do that. If I need ammo, same thing. I've been loving every aspect of her passive, and on a scale of 1 to 10, I have to give her passive a 9 out of 10 rating. It's very strong and super convenient, but the fact that you can only loot one item makes it not overpowered, especially considering that you can't armor swap. That right there would be overpowered if she could do that. Moving on to her tactical ability. Her tactical, named Void Passage, has been causing a lot of chaos in this game. Her passive is why people think that she's overpowered, but it's just because she's new and fresh. People aren't used to it yet, so they immediately resort to screaming overpowered. I think her tactical is actually very balanced. Only in certain situations is her tactical very strong, and that's going to be primarily within buildings. Places that have a lot of walls or roofs that you can't access without Alter. It opens up a lot of new angles and forces the enemy team to keep their head on a swivel, because at any point, an Alter may be able to push you, and it won't be through a doorway. But other than that, in the wide open, it's very weak. People have mistakenly confused Alter as a movement legend, when in reality, she essentially has no movement at all in the wide open. Literally zero movement. If you get caught with your ass out in the wide open, you can't just haphazardly throw your tactical in hopes that it will get you out of that situation, like you can with Loba or Pathfinder, etc. So you cannot depend on her tactical to get you out of those situations. And in these situations, which makes up the majority of the game, you won't be able to do much with her tactical. But you can do one thing, and that's use it to kidnap people that are sitting behind cover. Though in this manner, she kind of provides some sort of offensive prowess. In my ranked games, I probably kidnapped enemy players at least a couple dozen times, and this has been very fun, but not overpowered. I like this aspect of the game. Kind of functions like a Maggie Q. When somebody's sitting behind some cover, you can Maggie Q that and force them off that cover. Same thing with Alter's Q. You can shoot it at their cover, and if you hit it right, you'll be able to kidnap that person from behind the cover and put some on that front side of that cover in the open where they are easily able to get killed. This is perhaps the strongest way to use Alter this season. It's essentially like a free kill. She's also able to use her tactical to get up to high ground, kind of like you would with a Horizon Q. The only downside to that is that in order to get to high ground, all the way from the bottom, the platform on the roof must extend over the base of the building, granting you a direct line of sight to that portion of the roof, and so you'll be able to look up and shoot your tactical and take high ground from there. But if it doesn't extend beyond the base of the building, then there's no way for you to take high ground. And at that point, you'll have to use zip lines or stairs like everybody else. This is a good balanced design. Regardless, her tactical does kind of make her the ultimate flank legend, but it's nowhere near overpowered. In fact, a lot of the time, I'll just shoot my tactical at a wall, near a door, to the roof, wherever the enemy team is, but I won't actually take my portal. I'll wait a couple seconds. The enemy team always has to respect her tactical because it opens up a new angle, and at any point, somebody on my team can take it. So the enemy team has to respect it. All I needed them to do is look at that portal for a second, and then I might make my way into the doorway, or I might flank them a different way. I use it to buy time and to distract them. And if I notice that they aren't respecting it, then I'll take it in that moment. I'm essentially using it as bait. And that's been a very effective way to use her tactical as well. Overall, 1 out of 10, I'll have to give her tactical a 6.8 out of 10. Although it's very strong within buildings, it's almost useless in the wide open. But if you can get creative with it, then I'm sure you'll have a lot of fun with her. Moving on to her ultimate ability, Void Nexus. Her ultimate kind of resembles Revenant's old ultimate back in the day, his totem. You place Alter's ultimate down, and at any point that you need to, you can teleport right back to that point. but you can even do it while you're knocked, and that's been insane. And we'll get into her perks in a second, but when you have the infinite duration for her ultimate, you can throw that bad boy down and take it whenever you want, no matter how long that fight takes. One way I've also been using it is if my teammates are too split for me, and they go down or they're in trouble. I can throw my ult down up to 200 meters away from my teammate, 200, and I'm able to portal them out to safety. 200 meters is such a large distance, there's no telling where you could be. So the enemy team almost has no chance of taking it. Unless one of your teammates does portal, then the enemy team can take it after that. I didn't know that about Alter initially. The enemy team can only take your ultimate if somebody on your team uses your ultimate. But until then, they have no way of taking it. That's also a very good balance design. I will say though, 200 meters does kind of make it a little too powerful. I think that distance is a little too far. I'm sure that will receive a nerf, but nothing crazy, maybe like a 50-meter nerf. This doesn't mean that she's overpowered though. Every legend can use some tweaking. Another good balance design to her ultimate is you really can't use it offensively. I think you could throw it max 15 meters. And so if you're looking to throw your ultimate towards the enemy team to be able to push them, it's not really effective in that manner at all actually. But primarily, you're going to use her ultimate as a defense mechanism, getting you and your teammates back to safety. And another good balance design is that it does take a lot of time to portal back to your ultimate. It slows down your movement completely and it takes about 5 seconds to be able to phase out. But once you're able to do that, there's no way of dying, especially if your ultimate's super far away. All in all, I have to give her ultimate a 9.5 out of 10. I think it's very solid, but also still extremely balanced. And it's much more convenient than a Wraith portal because I don't have to be near my teammate to be able to portal them out. If you haven't tried her out yet, I suggest that you do. She's very, very fun. Now let's talk about her perks really quickly. For her blue armor perk, I'm choosing the highlight enemy one. Every time you use your tactical or your ultimate, once you're about to phase out, if there's any enemies near you, it'll highlight them, which tells you exactly where you need to go in that moment. And I believe it even shows their health as well. This is much better than her 30-second deduction and cooldown because it makes you much more aware of your surroundings when you're invisible. And like I said, it can tell you exactly where you need to go once you phase out. It gives directionality where that teammate is looking. It reveals their positioning, shows you exactly what they're doing. It's insane. And it's very helpful to have that information available to you. And now for the purple perk, as I talked about earlier, I'm using the infinite ult duration. That's the first time I've ever heard that word used in Apex. Infinite ult duration. I could put my ultimate 200 meters away and it doesn't expire unless somebody destroys it. Wraith portals expire, Ash portals expire, but not altars. Initially, I thought that was going to be overpowered as well. But the fact that you primarily use her ultimate in defensive purposes, and it does take a long time for you to be able to teleport back. All in all, I say her ult is still balanced. I think it's fresh for the game, which is good, and I love the new dynamic it provides to the game. I'm having a lot of fun with this legend, and I might even end up dropping low before her. That's the first time I've ever said that. Just like with every new legend, I understand why people say they're overpowered. It's just because she's new. Give it some time. If you want to talk about overpowered, we could talk about Revenant. But overall, in my honest opinion, I have to give Alter a B- rating. She is extremely powerful in very niche situations, but in the grand scheme of things, she's kind of mid. And I've addressed those points already earlier. But if we're talking about pure, raw fun, she's definitely S tier for fun. My biggest warning to you guys is do not consider her a movement legend. You can consider her a movement legend if you use her appropriately. But if you think she functions in the same way like Wraith, Loba, Ashe, Pathfinder, Revenant, legends that are true movement legends that can get out of dodge within seconds, then you're using her incorrectly. Play cover, play smart angles, don't just rush in there all willy-nilly. Remember to use her ultimate for every single fight and use it about 100 meters away before you're about to push. That way you can get super aggressive and have a fallback plan. But if you're already in a shit situation, you can't just turn around and brace it out. You can't just throw her ultimate, which only goes about 15 meters away from you if you're already shit exposed, and think that you're going to be able to get away. She's not the legend for that. I'm seeing a lot of people try to play her like that, and it's frustrating. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Be sure to leave a like and sub as well if you haven't already. One thing you got to know about me, I'm never wrong. I take my time with these things, and I'm very thorough. I don't just make these videos immediately as the season drops just to get some views, like every other YouTube creator does. So you can have good faith that what I'm saying is accurate. And if you have any questions, just let them know. It's Scrappy certified. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out. Bam, 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 bam. Bam, 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 bam. Bam, 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 bam. Bam, 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 bam,